Hello, and welcome to the second installment of the JCPL Show. We are so excited that you joined us. This episode, we are going to hear from some incredible community members and organizations, including the Jessamine County Health Department, the Animal Shelter, and Miss Kentucky. We'll hear music from Marcus Wilkerson, meet the winners of our Art Apart competition, and learn more about the 2021 Reading Challenge from the Books and Bites podcast team. Make sure that you comment below and share this video with your friends. Without further ado, let's get started.
Well, it's the talk of the town, I said the talk of the town. JCPL Show is now the talk of the town. Lots of information and entertainment too. You'll be quite excited when you see what's here for you. The talk of the town is the talk of the town. Tune right in and see what you can do. Meet a local hero or a new friend for you. Listen to some music and enjoy an artist too. Get to know our staff and all the things they like to do. The JCPL Show is here. We hope you'll come from far and near. Come to the talk of the town.
Hi, my name is Esme Thomas. I painted this picture because I live around barns and I painted it for a portfolio while I was at home. And I like to paint lots of landscapes and stuff since I've been home from school.
Hi, my name is Janessa and this is my painting. I drew a sea turtle a while back in March, and I felt like this was going to be a great accomplishment for me when I finished it because my art teacher encouraged me to complete it, and I just love how it came out because of the beautiful details that was in it, and I just thought to share it with everybody that could see it.
My name is Christy Wolf, and my entry was Lockdown Mandalas. These are done in Zentangle. Zentangle is a process of making a small pattern, making a small drawing, and filling in the spaces with patterns. And it's very soothing, and it just takes you out of stress, and it gives you a sense of meditation.
Hi, my name is Juanita Boone. I've been painting since I was a child. During the lockdown, I got a chance to go hiking near the Kentucky River with my kids and was inspired to make this piece. The lockdown also inspired me to paint a series of blue sky paintings. I learned that during the pandemic, the skies in China became clearer since there was so much less pollution being produced, and it made me think that we have to focus on the good things that we have, like bluer skies, more time with our kids, and more time to paint.
Hi, I'm Kate Irwin with the animal feature of the JCPL Show. Today, we're at the Jessamine County Animal Shelter with Animal Shelter Director Tim Brown.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. Thanks for having us out.
Thanks for coming back.
And who's our little friend here today?
Today we have Juno. Juno is a 3-month-old kitten.
She is really cute and seems to be very mellow, so
she
would make a great pet. So, Tim, winter is here and the weather is definitely getting colder. Can you give us some tips on how to take good care of our pets during the winter?
Absolutely, and this is one of the times where we start to see a little bit of a call increase when it comes to animal control officers going out and to responding to those type of calls. And so what we want to make sure is that everyone understands that there are some necessities that have to go into making sure that your animal is safe outside. A couple of those are the proper shelter, which consists of a dog house, has to have 4 walls, a roof, a floor, and it has to have straw, hay, or wood shavings in the bottom as bedding. You can't have bedding like a comfort or anything like that. Okay. It has to actually be straw, hay, or wood shavings. If they are going to be outside, they have to have water, access to fresh water at all times, no frozen over water, food, and then if they're going to be outside and tethered, the tether has to be at least 12 feet in length, has to have swivels on both ends. That way it can't get itself hung around any type of objects. But it also has to make sure that the animal can access the proper shelter on the tether.
Very good. Good information, and thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Now, what is the animal shelter's biggest need right now that we could help, the community can help with?
So right now, we are trying to raise funds to obtain an air conditioning unit, which will also have a heating option. We do have heating right now, so the animals are safe, but it will allow us in the summertime to make sure that we have the proper ventilation for the animals, because last year, we can all be honest, it was hot, very, very hot. And so we only relied on the fresh air to make sure that we kept our animals cool. And so we want to make sure that we are working on that project to have it ready to go by next year.
Very important. Good information. Thank you. Now, what can the community do to help you with that project?
So we are trying to raise $29,000 to help get the funds to have the installers come in and install both air conditioning units on both sides of the shelter. So monetary donations can go a long way, and anything could help at this point. $5, $1, anything that anyone can donate would definitely be appreciated. And if you can't donate funds, then any type of donation as far as in things for the animals, food, toys, blankets, anything like that can definitely help out as well too.
Well, Tim, thank you so much for talking with us today. That's it from the Jessamine County Animal Shelter and our furry members of our community.
We're offering curbside pickup service for your convenience. Place your items on hold and we'll let you know when they're ready for pickup. Let us know you're here through the JCPL app and we'll bring everything out to your vehicle.
Hello, I'm Kate Irwin, Children's Program Coordinator at the Jessamine County Public Library, and today we welcome Jessamine County resident and Miss Kentucky for 2019 and 2020, Alex Frankie. Welcome, Alex.
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you with us today. So, explain to me, you're Miss Kentucky for 2019 and 2020. Now that's got to be like a record. How did that happen?
It's literally a record. Well, I don't know if you have, paid attention to the news or anything. There's this thing going around, this virus thing, but it really threw a wrench in all of our plans, right? So usually Miss Kentucky gets a 1-year term and you get the opportunity to go to community events and meet students at schools and advocate for the agriculture community and for me, the arts community. So you get a year that's jam-packed, go, go, go every single day. Well, in March, I got a call that said, you know what, we're going to cancel the rest of your March activities just to see what goes on and kind of how this thing progresses. And then as more time went on, we started to realize that the world was not going to go back to normal in 6 weeks like we had previously thought. And they asked me to extend my year of service into 2 years of service. So I got a job promotion. I was promoted to Miss Kentucky 2020. It's never happened before. I'm the only person that's ever been Miss Kentucky for the Miss America organization twice. But it's been a crazy experience. Everything about this year has been crazy, but learning to be a virtual Miss Kentucky when so much of it is just showing up and being present for people and letting people know that they're seen and they're loved and they're heard. How do you do that through a computer screen? So it's had lots of challenges, but in lots of good ways too.
Yes, and I'm so glad that it couldn't have happened to a nicer person, and we're glad that you have the opportunity to reach so many kids. 2 years versus just one. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So I understand that your platform for your reign as Miss Kentucky for both years has been the importance of arts in schools. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and can you talk about that a little bit? Is it just the visual arts or performing arts?
Yeah, of course. Well, just a little bit of background, because not everybody knows how the Miss America organization works. Every candidate that competes has to have a platform. So that's a community service issue that you care deeply about. It could be anything from volunteerism all the way to awareness for a specific disease or type of cancer, anything like that. And I actually chose to advocate for arts and education because I went to a performing arts school. I grew up in Lexington, and I went to the School for Creative and Performing Arts, or SCAPA, and I learned so much through my arts education. And the kids that I graduated with, I say kids, but we graduated when we were 18, feels like kids to me. The kids I graduated with are some of the most brilliant people I've ever met. They're academically gifted, they are driven, and they were involved in the arts from a young age. So I started to see that correlation. And when I looked into the arts opportunities that were available for students in Kentucky, I realized there was a huge disparity. I mean, outside of our little SCAPA bubble, there were schools that didn't have reliable arts programs, didn't have the funding for additional arts programs.
Sure.
So I tried to say, what can I do as an outsider? What can I do as a Lexingtonian, as a Kentuckian, to really help mitigate that gap? So I decided to start Adopt an Art, which is a 501c3 organization, in 2014. And it has just been a crazy adventure ever since then. I started out working with public schools directly. We would do an after-school program, and we would come in, we'd do snacks for the kids, we'd do a homework club so they'd have time to work on their schoolwork too. And we would teach them dance, drama, music, and visual art.
Wow.
So they had an opportunity to practice and explore all of the arts areas, and we brought in mentors to teach the lessons so that they had an adult or a role model or an older student in their life that cared about them and showed up for them every single week.
That's amazing.
So yeah, I mean, it was just an absolute adventure.
Yeah.
So we're actually getting ready to kick off a partnership with Sunrise Children's Services to provide arts education for all of the children and students and young adults that are living in their facilities, through their foster care, their residential. We're really, really excited to be able to give them opportunities for education and expression, and just a time for them to just be a kid and to focus on whether it is finger painting or playing the guitar, something that can help them to express themselves and just enjoy
That's
a
wonderful.
couple hours a day.
That's great that you were able to pivot so quickly and to meet the kids really right where they are. Now, if someone wanted to help or to advocate for art or for Adopt an Art, what can we do?
Oh, we are always looking for helpers. We will take all the help we can get. We are always looking for people that can help us from a monetary standpoint by supporting our operations financially, or donating supplies, donating snacks for the kids, like whatever it is. We have an Amazon wish list and like a whole donation page on our website. It's adoptanart.org.
Okay.
But we also always have a need for people who are interested in helping us write curriculum, like teachers especially, that want to help us with our lesson plans, and that can help us, with more nonprofit development or management, because again, I'm 24 years old and I will be the first to say I don't know everything, and my team does not know everything. We're always sharpening our axe. So we are grateful for anybody that wants to be involved and help, whether it is being a mentor to the students and teaching classes over Zoom, or curriculum writing, or donations, or just advocating for the organization and arts awareness. Like, we are not picky when it comes to people who want to help out.
That's great to hear. Well, thank you so much, Alex, for taking some time to spend with us today. And we really appreciate your passion and the amount of energy and time that you're putting into helping kids access the arts. So from the Jessamine County Public Library, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you stick around for some more videos.
Hi, I'm Perry, and I'm the Adult Outreach Librarian at the Jessamine County Public Library. We're learning more about how mental and physical health are related. The Jessamine County Health Department has a community-wide program called the Mental Health Work Group. With me today from the Health Department is Bruce Crouch, who is also one of the founding members of the Mental Health Work Group. Hi, Bruce. Would you tell us about your work at the Health Department?
Sure, Perry. Thanks for having me today. Yeah, so I'm actually the Harm Reduction and Safety Manager as my current role at the Health Department. We have our stationary syringe exchange program, and they also have a mobile harm reduction unit, which actually offers everything that the Health Department offers if somebody come into our clinic.
What, could you tell us a little bit about the Mental Health Work Group?
Initially, that work group was comprised out of our community health assessment, which was done back in 2016. And then 2017, all of those calculations and everything were put together. And 4 main health issues were kind of at the top of the list. One of those is being mental health, the other is substance abuse, the other is safety, and the other is chronic disease. Initially, when I first come in as the Healthy and Safe Communities Coordinator, my primary role was to get those 4 areas and kind of put work groups together for those areas.
So what are some of the work groups initiatives in the community?
For the month of December, our biggest one was we had the yard sign for Light Up Jessamine with Hope. Another big one is our mental health first aid training. We were able to actually jump in with Kentucky Department of Public Health and Behavioral Health. And we've got now members of our school district who are trained in teaching that mental health first aid. If you take that course, it helps you identify somebody that is having some issues with mental health. And it may be depression, just depression, not suicide, but just depression. But it helps that person help look and see irregularities, I guess, and say, let's communicate and open that line of communication up, and then help guide that person to professional who can actually help and treat them. So taking that same kind of, it helps you keep them alive till you can get the professionals there. Sources of strength, that's another huge one. We were the first school district in the state. It is actually an anti-suicide program, is what it initially was designed for. And it is so much more than that. It is anti-bullying, anti-drugs, but the program itself, it's not adult taught. You actually have the peers. The kids are actually teaching other kids the good, those sources. What is their strengths and how they can help each other. So if one of these guys or girls that we have trained in the sources of strength, if one of their friends comes to them and they're having that bad day, they can help identify that and say, hey, come, let's sit down and talk, and let's kind of, they can have a trusted individual they could go to, such as myself or one of the other teachers at the school that has been identified as a trusted individual or a person. So that's what that sources of strength is.
Are there any specific mental health resources offered through the health department that you think would be appropriate right now?
If you go to jessaminehealth.org, you can navigate through there. We have several different things. Also, Facebook, our Facebook page, and we're very active with it. We have quite a few followers with that.
Thank you so much, Bruce. Thank you for your work, and thank you for joining us.
Books? Check. DVDs? Check. Chromebook? Wait, a Chromebook? Check. From musical instruments to birdwatching kits and disc golf sets to Wi-Fi hotspots, we've got it. It's the Library of Things at the Jessamine County Public Library.
Hi, I'm Les, and I'm here with our musical guest today on the JCPL Show, Marcus Wilkerson. He is a singer, a songwriter, an educator, a musician, a little bit of a chef, just an artist, everything you can imagine, a craftsman. He's starting to make instruments. Marcus, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Can you tell us about your experience growing up, your big influences, and the people that helped you come to making music today?
Well, growing up, learning music at a very early age, or at least learning to sing, there's so many different influences that I've had: Earth, Wind & Fire, Stevie Wonder, and that was a lot of music coming out of the speakers at my house, my grandmother's house. I grew up, watching a lot of artist educators, present in certain, church programs that we would have, Black African American identity and African identity, and learning the contributions across the African diaspora. I've been writing songs, I believe, as long as I can remember, doing something creative. Being from Louisville, Kentucky, you're also exposed to a lot of the regional sounds too. Yeah, and I would even go so far as to say that every genre has influenced me to some degree.
If you had to say, this genre, that's my motivator. That's the one that really just hit me in the soul. What would you think? What would you say?
Yeah, that one genre, that eclectic genre. How about that one? that one that borrows from all. It's hard to do. It's so hard. It is so hard. But I definitely will say I'm a child of hip hop. I'm the same age. Around '76 is when it really started taking off. And the first time I heard something that froze me was when I heard Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, The Message. I literally was I was shocked. I remember standing right in front of my grandmother's shelf with all her little Avon glass containers and like listening to this, you know, this clock radio and hearing what was coming back at me. It was intense.
Now, we're going to get to hear you play some music today. And I am wondering, now I know you're a lyricist and a little bit of poetry going on there in the same way that hip hop's got the poetry and the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering what we're going to hear, because I've heard some of your music and I've heard so many different influences and so many different sounds come out of this one person.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited, and I hope that our viewers are excited. Marcus, let's make some music.
Yeah.
Hard time, baby. Why are you sitting with your head firmly fit inside your hand? Look around you. Look up and down, there is firm, solid ground where you stand. I know you're walking and you're talking to yourself. You silly look around like there's no other hill. You started crawling and you're falling, and you're falling, and you're falling, and you're falling on your knees. Get on, little baby. Get on. Get on, little baby. Baby, you got work to do. Remember, one day you were a crawling and someone was a calling at your name. Mama, Daddy held out their hands and they would not stop calling till you came. And then one day you put your hand upon the rail and you stood up just like a bird upon his tail. You started walking, now you're running, and you're running, now you're gunning like a filly at the bell. Get on, little baby. Get on. Get on, little baby. Baby, you got work to do. Get on, little baby. Get on. Get on, little baby. Baby, you got work to do. Baby, you got work to do. Convince them, but the one who needs convincing now is you. When no one is with you, it's the space you require to spread your wings of fires that you do. You put your feet up underneath you, risk it all. You so suspended you can't hear your mama call. And then you voice and there's a voice inside your head. Is that your choice? Is that you either fire? Yeah. Get on, little baby. Get on. Get on, little baby. Baby, you got work to do. Oh, baby. Get on. Oh, baby. Baby, you got work to do.
JCPL's eLibrary is open 24/7 and is packed full of books, audiobooks, movies, music, and resources for you to access anytime. Check out justpublib.org/eLibrary to get started.
Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Adam.
And I'm Carrie, and we're the librarians behind Books and Bites.
Books and Bites is a reading challenge, a podcast, and a book club.
This year, we're sponsoring our second annual Books and Bites Reading Challenge.
Throughout 2021, complete reading prompts for a chance to win great prizes, including monthly drawings for a $25 gift card to Joseph Beth Booksellers, and an end-of-year drawing for the grand prize, a $100 gift card to Joseph Beth.
Each month on the Books and Bites podcast, we bring you book recommendations for the reading challenge and discuss the bites and beverages to pair with them. You can listen on Apple or Google Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast players, or you can listen on our website at justpublib.org/books-bites.
If podcasts aren't your thing, join our No Pressure Books and Bites Club. The three of us recommend books for the challenge, and club participants share their recent favorites. We currently meet the second Wednesday of the month on Zoom. You can register on the events page of our website.
So we're here with Mary McLaren, who's one of our Books and Bites book club participants. And Mary, I understand that you're looking for a recommendation for a new series to try for the 2021 Reading Challenge prompt. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're looking for?
Well, Carrie, I have been reading the Louise Penny Chief Inspector Gamache mystery series, and I really like that series. So if you could find me something that's kind of similar, that would be fun. And I think a lot of other people would enjoy it.
I did find a series that we think you might like. It's called The Long Call by Anne Cleves. That's actually the name of the first book in the series. And Louise Penny actually calls Anne Cleves one of her favorite mystery authors.
Ah, good.
So it's the first book in the Two Rivers series, and it's about an introspective detective investigating a murder in a small town in North Devon. And as in the Inspector Gamache series, it has a strong cast of supporting characters. And I know you've told me that's something that you like about the Inspector Gamache series. So it's just the first book in the series. So there's not a lot to keep you going like the other series, but Anne Cleves has written a lot of other series, including Shetland and Vera Stanhope. So if you like this one, you should have a lot more to keep you going.
Okay, sounds good.
Thanks for joining us, Mary.
You're welcome. And thanks for Books and Bites.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to STEAM with Shantel. I'm here with Dr. Steve Davis, the Medical Director at Jessamine County Health Department. How are you today, Steve?
Hi, good morning, Shantel. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing pretty
Blessed.
good.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you meeting with us today. The Health Department offers free drive-through testing to anyone, including Jessamine County residents. Would you explain the process?
Sure, Shantel. Our testing service for COVID, first of all, what you would do, you would go to a website, jessaminehealth.org, and on that website, you will see a button to push to register for COVID testing. Now, our testing process is completely a drive-through process. I can almost guarantee you that you won't be longer than 15 minutes. Your first station that you'll stop and register in, you'll be given some education about COVID, this enemy we're fighting right now. You'll then proceed to the testing tent where you'll meet one of our three nurses. And I can tell you, we've performed over 6,000 tests, and our nurses are extremely proficient. We actually, you'll pull up, put your car in park, turn your engine off, roll your window down, and they'll have a small Q-tip the nurse will insert the Q-tip for just a short distance into your nose. They will spin the Q-tip around. The entire procedure from the time they put the Q-tip in your nose until they remove it takes about 5 or 6 seconds. At that time, you will be able to drive on and you will receive a phone call from the health department as soon as our test results are back, letting you know whether you had a negative test or a positive COVID test. And we're very fortunate that we've been able to get our results to people almost 100% of the time within 48 hours.
I know that other type of testing identifies whether antibodies to the virus are present in your blood. Can you tell us STEAM lovers more about what are antibodies?
Sure. Everybody has, as part of their body, we have something called our lymphatic system. Your lymphatic system develops, think of it as little soldiers. And these are little soldiers called antibodies that get in your bloodstream. And what they do when they recognize that a foreign virus, a foreign germ, something that's not normal to your body, they then travel through your lymphatic system, through your blood system, and they go to try to defeat that enemy that's invaded. I will tell you with antibody studies right now, there's kind of 4 situations that's come out of the study since began early February. And those 4 situations with antibodies, they go like this. First of all, some people don't make any antibodies. They get infected with COVID, but they don't make any antibodies. So when they get an antibody test, it may come back negative, and that's just because for some reason their body didn't develop the antibodies to COVID. The second thing that may happen is you may develop antibodies, Shantel, but those antibodies need to be what we call protective, meaning neutralizing, meaning they killed the virus. And some people develop antibodies to COVID, but they don't completely protect you against that. The third group of people is they do develop the antibodies to COVID-19, which is good. They develop the protective antibodies, they're protective, which is good. But then all of a sudden, maybe around 3 to 4 months, those antibodies just suddenly leave our system. But the fourth situation is good news, is that you can have antibodies that you develop against COVID-19. They are good, strong antibodies, number one. They're protective antibodies, number two, meaning they go out and they really kill that virus. Number three, they stay in your bloodstream at a good level. And number four, they've been staying at a high enough level since the beginning of February till now. Some people are maintaining those good high-level protective antibodies throughout the course of the COVID duration that we've known it. So yes, you can have a blood test to determine if you've had antibodies. The only thing, there's a little caveat in that, is those antibodies can be in one of those four categories. You don't really know which category you fall in, but certainly, as I say, until we get our vaccine, which prayerfully will be coming very soon, let's just remember everyone get tested. And let's remember our 3 W's. Let's wear our mask, let's wash our hands, and let's watch our distance.
Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate everything that you did today. You've helped me to visualize it and helped it not to be so scary. You know, education is key. And I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for all you do, and God bless you, and you stay healthy out there.
And thank you all for tuning in to STEAM with Shantel. I'll see you next time.
The JCPL app makes it easy to browse our catalog of books, movies, and more. Use it to place items on hold, access digital materials, and view your library account information all in one convenient place. Download the app today. That's all for now. What was your favorite part of the JCPL show? Be sure to tell us in the comments below. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope to see you soon.
Balia,